Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I accept things the way they are. I accept things the way they are not. Something wonderful is happening to me right now. I love wasting. I love wasting. I get free. I reap abundantly. I already have everything I need. Wonderful is happening to me right now. Don't you feel it? Something wonderful is happening to me right now. Oh yeah. I accept things the way they are. I will. I accept things the way they are not. Something wonderful is happening to me right now.
Good morning. Happy
Love
Mother's
you.
Day.
Happy Mother's
I'm so
Day.
delighted to be here today.
We are incredibly delighted to have you.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. Yes, you
So if you would just join with me. So how beautiful and loving and precious it is to simply be in this space. Recognizing the one life, the one love, the one infinite presence that I know is God, is Spirit. And right here and right now, I simply just anchor myself in that knowledge, in that knowing, in that infinite peace, infinite joy, infinite wisdom, infinite love, understanding, caring. And so it is here I simply recognize and acknowledge that precious love that was just spoken about. That precious knowing and infinite caring of mothers as we celebrate today. We celebrate and acknowledge the strength, the wisdom, the joy, the love of our mothers. Knowing that the one mind is always working in and through and as each person here, I know that that love is manifesting fully. That right here and right now today we acknowledge the presence. The presence of that perfect love, of that nurturing, of that joy, that peace. And with hearts filled full of gratitude, we acknowledge those who come of service today, knowing that our ministerial team puts on a wonderful service, that the music uplifts and inspires, that in our children's churches, our children are simply filled and overflowing with that infinite knowledge of that love that we're speaking about today, knowing that they are cared for, that their church family loves them unconditionally. I acknowledge our sound team, our video team, and I acknowledge our ministry of prayer team, knowing that they hold each and every one of us in consciousness, in that divine love, knowing that today is good and very good as we celebrate and enjoy. And so with a heart filled full of gratitude and joy, I simply release these words into the law, knowing that they are manifesting fully right here and right now in each and every one of us. And together we say, so it is.
Spirit is beauty. Woman, spirit runs deep. Woman, loves with compassion. Our perfection is complete. Woman, spirit is graceful. Woman, spirit is wise. Woman, spirit is moving, bringing love into our lives. Woman, spirit is passion. Woman, spirit is birth. Woman's power unfolding to honor life on earth. Spirit is beauty. Woman, spirit is beauty. Woman, spirit runs deep. Woman, spirit runs deep. Woman loves with compassion. Loves with compassion. Our perfection is our perfection is complete. Woman, spirit is graceful. Woman, spirit is graceful. Woman, spirit is wise. Woman, spirit is wise. Woman, spirit is moving. Spirit is moving. Bringing love, bringing love.
Today is a day that we have chosen to celebrate women, and specifically mothers. Funny that we choose just one day to honor this magnificent expression that gives so freely. Despite what anyone says, none of us are self-made. For all of you that are moms, grandmas, and great-grandmas, thank you for your love, your generosity, your strength, your courage, your creativity, your giving of your time, your talent, and your treasure. You have proven that the creative process is the way it works. Most have modeled for us that intuition is a very real thing, and that each of us has it and can rely upon it. Most moms know the truth for their children when we don't know it for ourselves. That truth is that each of us are magnificent and powerful beyond measure. I am grateful for my own mom and grandmothers and all those great women whose shoulders I stand upon. Thank you for the many gifts. We, the Revs, are grateful for all the moms here, grandmas and great-grandmas. They love, support, and nurture us as ministers and give us the courage to continue, as well as provide so much to this beloved community. We are better because you are here. Some have gone on to their next stage of magnificence, and each are always remembered, appreciated, and admired. Mothering is not an easy job. It can be thankless, and some are better at it than others. But whatever your experience of being a mother or being mothered, please keep in mind that each mother did their best. We all have access to this same toolkit, but our consciousness is not all the same. So please celebrate your moms for all they have done or still do. Each of us are here on this journey because of them. I love you, Mom, wherever you are. I love you, Mom. And I love all of you moms here. Happy Mother's Day. One more thing. Our beloved Reverend Cynthia, our founder, would say today, don't sit around and wait for your kids or grandkids or great-grandkids to call. Get off the cross and give them a call and go about the business of celebrating you. I love and appreciate all of you. Happy Mother's Day.
So the title of our talk today is Dare Fear to Courage. And so the divine infinite mind wished to express itself in a new and dynamic way. And God was heard saying, I will create beings in my very own image and likeness. And they will be spiritual beings, but they will have a physical experience. And then God said, and I'm going to give these beings, that I'm going to call human beings, the ability to create. The ability to create their physical world, their physical experience, with their thoughts, and their words, and their feelings. And then God said, and I am going to give them absolute freedom. They will have the freedom to create the life, to live the life that they choose to create. And they can be as unique and as wondrous as they choose. And God said to itself, oh my God, I'm brilliant. And so there was great excitement in the spiritual realms, you see, because this was the idea that spirit would be living and creating in the physical world. But God was puzzled by one thing. How would I get the spiritual beings into the physical world? What is that process going to look like? So after much great thinking, God said, I've got it. I've got it. And what came forth was the idea of mother. And mother would be this grand vessel. Mother would be powerful and strong, and yet gentle and soft and loving. And the universe would use this vessel to knit together the new little beings, and would use this vessel to send the new little beings to earth. God said, this is by far my greatest idea ever. As the mothers prepared to take this grand task, they said, we're fearful. We are afraid. This task that you give us to take the new little beings into the world, this is a daunting task. And the wisdom of the universe replied and said this, be not afraid. Suck it up. Fear not. Because there is one way that one can move from fear to courage. And it is this. One must look at life, look at situations, look at experiences with the eyes of love. And then secondly, learn to look not at what is, but rather see what is possible. When you dare to look at life with the eyes of love and possibility, you move into your power. You move from fear into courage. And so the mothers then took these new tools of love and possibility, and they took on the toughest, the most challenging, sometimes the most unrewarding job in the universe. And they began to bring the new little beings into the world. Always looking through the eyes of love and possibility. Have you ever wondered what it was like to see life through the eyes of your own mother? Well, let me show you.
Are you guys sure you got this?
Yeah, the twins are plugged in, baby's asleep. How hard can this get?
Poor man. Besides, I bumped into Chuck Norris at a Pizza Hut once. I think his power's rubbed off on me.
Get out of here. Go on, enjoy your mommy getaway weekend. Oh, this weekend was a bad idea. What happened last time we watched the kids?
I'm not a pinata!
Yeah, we're gonna need help.
perception of reality? All right, everything looks the same. This is a joke.
Guys, it's like the Sahara in this cup. Can somebody hit me with some juice? And listen, Paul, doesn't make a difference to me. You're the one dealing with the diaper.
Mom goggles. It's beautiful!
Sweetie, I need you to sit on your bottom. Listen to Daddy. You sit on your bottom, okay? Daddy's gonna come get you. Don't move. Don't do it. You sit on your bottom. Daddy's gonna come get you.
Whoa! Don't you try to stop me.
Yes, you did.
Where are your mom goggles?
They wouldn't put over my hazmat food. Take this off, bro.
And then the little boy, he rocked his mommy. Oh, I love you. Forever. I like you
I don't know how they do it. Oh, well, you take it and you fold it from corner to corner.
No, I'm asking the question, how do moms do all of this? How do they handle it all?
Well, maybe they have goggles we don't know about.
It's as if God gave moms a special way of looking at things, you know? Okay, who taught you servanthood? Who modeled grace? Who gave you a taste of what God's love could look like?
My mom, Mr. T, and my mom.
Anyway, I just think God gave moms a special way of looking at things. Hey, honey.
Hey, how's it going at home?
It's all good. Guess you could say I'm starting to catch a glimpse of what your world looks like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hold on, your daughter wants to say something to you. She says she misses you. And she realizes how important you are in life. And she doesn't know how you do it. And she knows that she can't make it without you.
She said all that, huh?
I don't know if she said it. But it's what I wanted to say. And I should have said it a lot sooner. I thank God for you.
The twins.
It was nothing. We have to go, okay? Love you, Mommy.
Boy, there are days I could use a pair of mom goggles. So, to the mothers, God said one final thing. You are to teach the power of love and possibility to the new little beings. Because you see, I am going to give them the power to create. The power to create their experiences the power to create their worlds. And mothers, if you teach the new little beings how to see life with love and possibility, then the new little beings will create wondrous and happy and abundant and fulfilled lives. You see, if you teach them to look with different lenses, they will become great manifesting machines. So that is the story of how each of us came to be here. We came here through our mothers. And if you didn't realize it, this is why moms say the things that moms say. Because they want each of us to be great manifesting machines. Now, I'm going to give you proof today that the things that mothers say, and sometimes we think they're crazy, but I'm giving you proof today that all the things that moms say to us is to help us manifest the very best. Number one, moms say, don't forget to say thank you. Always say thank you. Well, why would moms talk about gratitude? Well, here's why. Moms knew the secret. So in the book, The Secret, page 77, many people who order their lives rightly in all other ways are kept in poverty by their lack of gratitude. It is impossible to bring more into your life if you are feeling ungrateful about what you have. Well, why? Because the thoughts and feelings you emit as you feel ungrateful are all negative emotions. Whether it is jealousy or resentment or dissatisfaction or feelings of not enough, those feelings cannot bring you what you want. They can only return to you more of what you do not want. Those negative emotions are blocking your own good coming to you. This is interesting. Funny what God reveals to you. If you want a new car, say a 370Z, but you are not grateful for the car you have, like a Maxima, that will be the dominant frequency you are sending out. And Reverend Dan, you probably then need to get used to the Maxima. Funny that that's written in here, huh? Okay, another things moms say. Forgive and forget. Forgiveness. Why would moms talk about forgiveness? I'm going to show you why. In The Science of Mind, page 431. In Reverend Cynthia's Science of Mind textbook. We are told that God will forgive us after we have forgiven others. This is a direct statement and one that we should ponder deeply. Can God forgive until we have forgiven? If God can work for us only by working through us, then this statement of Jesus stands true. And it really is a statement of the law of cause and effect. We cannot afford to hold personal animosities or enmities against, listen to this, I'm going to go back. Because we watch the news, we talk with others, and we make very general statements about the world. We cannot afford to hold personal animosities or enmities against the world or individual members of society, even those in public office. All such thoughts are outside the law and cannot be taken into the heavenly consciousness. Love alone can beget love. People do not gather roses from thistles. This is good. Our treasure is already in heaven, and our thought can take us to this treasure only when it is in accord with divine harmony and perfect love. Our treasure is already in heaven, and our thought can take us to this treasure only when our thought is in accord with divine harmony and perfect love. Moms say, if you can't say anything nice, don't say no. And basically, when we're not saying anything nice, we're generally dabbling in what we like to call judgment. So why would moms talk to us about judgment? I'm going to tell you why. Page 433 of the Science of Mind textbook. Judgment. Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure you might, it shall be measured to you again. Life must return to us the manifestation of our motives, our thoughts, and our desires. Whether these motives, thoughts, and desires were intended for ourselves or others. It means that the thought of judgment, the thought of criticism, and condemnation must in time operate against the one who sets it in motion. Isn't it lovely to think that we can sit around and talk about others, not realizing that those thoughts, those words, those feelings are creating something for us? Darn it! My mom always used to say, especially when it came to my little sister, be nice. Just be nice. Why do moms talk about being nice and kindness? I'm going to show you why. Page 298, Science of Mind textbook. To him who hath loved much, much is forgiven. A man may have many shortcomings, but if he loves greatly, much will be forgiven him. I like this. People are dying for real human interest, for genuine friendship, for someone to tell them they are all right. We always welcome the man who looks at the world as his friend and loves it. And it is a law that the man who sees what he wants to see, regardless of what appears, will someday experience in the outer what he has so faithfully seen from within. From selfish reasons alone, if from no loftier reason, we cannot afford to find fault, or to hate, or even to hold in mind anything against any living soul. The God of love cannot hear the prayer of the one who fails to love. I was very fortunate that I had a mother who was Catholic, whose best friend happened to live one house away from us, who was a religious science. And in her own way, my mother picked up on principle. My mother learned principle indirectly from our neighbor. And she used to tell me, I remember one day, my parents owned a restaurant, They worked 7 days a week, and they did a lot for the church. And I remember my mother went to the religious science church with our neighbor. And my mom came home that day, and she said, I'm not going back to that church. I work 7 days a week. I take care of my family. And I'm no longer going somewhere where I am being told I'm a sinner. What I learned today is I am God's perfect child. And she used to say to me, Danielle, you can do it. You can do anything you set your mind to. You are God's perfect child. I remember walking to school, and my friends would stop, pick me up, and we would walk to school, and I'd be all the way, almost at the end of the block around the corner. And my mother would call out, Danielle, viens ici, Danielle. I'd have to run all the way, and it was a routine. My friends would be like, I would run back home, and my mom would say, I love you. And you are God's perfect child. Why do our parents, why do our moms tell us this? I can pull it together. I'm going to tell you why. In his book, Creative Mind, page 78, Ernest Holmes says this, all things come to us through the use of our thought. We must never forget that as we think and we speak. If we have a small concept of life, we will always be doing small things. First in the creative series is the Word, but the Word carries us no further than our consciousness back of it. Unless we are constantly expanding our thought, we are not growing. Growth is the law of life, and it is necessary. We cannot stand still. If you want to do a new thing, get a new thought, and then you will have the power of attraction, which has the possibility of drawing to you the circumstances which will make for the fulfillment of your desires. Get over the old idea of limitation. Overcome all precedents and set yourself in the new order of things. Now, know the time that this was written. Listen to what he says. If you want to build a railroad, you will never do it unless you get over the idea that the most that you can hope for in life is to sell peanuts. Let the people sell peanuts for a living who think in the terms of peanuts. Get out of the rut. God has created for you a glorious future. Dare to fling out into the mind the greater assurances about yourself. This is why moms say, you can do it. Now those are just some of the things, of course, moms say. knew all that time, when we just said, yeah, Mom, okay, Mom, that they were actually showing us how to manifest glorious lives. Think about it. Moms played a part in creating us, and then when we were here, they taught us how to create. I think God was right. I think God's idea of mothers was the most amazing idea of all. So this week, put your mom goggles on. And if you don't have those goggles laying around, if they're all sold out on Amazon, then just start to see life through the eyes of love and the eyes of possibility. I love all of you. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers. Have a wonderful day. All right, if you would just stand and connect. And so in this sacred moment of now, there is only one. Each person here, including myself, have come from that one source. That source that is infinite, powerful, loving, and abundant. And so I know that I am one with this one, as is each person here. And that allows me to remember that all people are powerful. All people are infinite. Each person is love and abundant. So I give thanks for knowing these truths. And I give thanks for the gift of Mother. I also take a moment knowing that there are some mother and child relationships that are a bit strained. And so I just call forth and declare that peace comes in that energy. That there is forgiveness, there is kindness, there is another chance, and there is wellness. I give thanks for this place. I give thanks for each person here. I give thanks knowing that each person enjoys the celebration of Mother's Day. And finally, I give thanks knowing that each and every person arrives at their next destination with ease and grace, and that each person here has the most amazing week ever. It is all good because it is all God. And I give thanks for it. And so together we say,
and so it is.